Okay, what are you saying, people? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another live stream. Like always, make sure you check out the Telegram channel. I do post my trading setups there throughout the week, so feel free to go and check that out if you want to. Looking for a broker, I've got IC Markets there for my affiliate link. Feel free to go check them out as well. But like always, guys, another live stream for you. Going to talk you through what's going in the charts today. Any opportunities we'll come across, we'll discuss. If you're looking at any pairs, if you're looking at any markets, feel free to let us know, stick it in the chat, or if you're in any trades as well, let us know, see how it's going on. But yeah, we're going to take a look at what's happening in this charts today. I'm going to take a look at the news in a second because I haven't actually checked the news announcements for the day. But we're looking across a few pairs. Like I said, at the end of the previous stream, I was going to keep my eye to see what happens with the DXY, and I still favour a move to the downside for this one. I was watching it throughout of yesterday, seeing how it's reacting with that price swing low there on the left, and it does look like price is struggling to break through this area here, kind of 95, 600 area. We've had a few attempts to break above, and it hasn't managed to do that. So I'm still favouring potentially DXY coming all the way back down into those lows, which is fairly significant, because if the DXY does drop and make that leg to the downside, we could be seeing quite big moves for euro still, pound, AUD all back to the upside. If we're going to see that DXY weakness, I'm looking at the hourly time frame. Again, to be honest, it is very, very choppy. All of this is consolidation. So it's quite hard to make out the price action for this, but all I'm looking at is that, are we making it above that level and are we staying above? Yes, we've made it a few times, but overall we keep coming back underneath. So I think once we manage to break out this consolidation to the downside, we could be fairly confident that we're going to see DXY potentially come back to 94,690, or just call it 94,700. So yeah, break out that consolidation to the downside. I would expect price to head back down to these lows. Obviously there's some support right here which could maybe drive price higher, but essentially we're back below that area, so and we still do have that bearish structure. So yeah, for me, I'll be favoring downside for the DXY probably for the remainder of the week, unless something happens fundamentally, or we suddenly break back above. Yeah, I'll be favoring downside for DXY. So taking that into the Forex pairs, pairs like Euro USD, we potentially could be seeing upside for these pairs now. Again, we've had a massive push up, and actually do expect us to retrace and start to recover some of that impulsive movement. Haven't quite managed to do so for Euro. It looks like we're kind of in the process of that. But if the DXY does drop bearish, I would expect price to push on. Kind of moving a little bit of a channel right now. Looks like price is trying to break free. But essentially, if the DXY does drop, we're going up. I was looking for price to come back and retest this area of resistance turn support, which price has kind of missed. I did say in my week analysis, this is the main area I'll be looking for buys. Not really trying to get into buys above this level, just because risk to reward as well is not that great. Coming back into resistance, not too far away. So I'd rather price come back and retest that 1.138 before going bullish, but beggars cannot be choosers. So yeah, if we manage to break out this channel, I'm expecting price back to highs 1.14700 and probably higher highs as well. Again, I did say if we're going daily chart, I did say for Euro, I'm looking for price to get back to this support here, which is that support there on the left, which we never actually got a retest of. So I do think the market could be drawn to come and test that area just under 1.155. So excuse me, I do think we can see some upside for Euro. Like I said, it would be nice if price was to come and test that support, but I'm not too sure if we will. If we do, fantastic. We'll see what price action we're getting there, of course. But yeah, I'm favouring more of the longs now for Euro. Shorts were kind of choppy all week, to be honest. not really clear, good setups. Pound USD on the other hand looks a lot better than Euro for some upside. You can see it's looking quite bullish right now. But yesterday I was saying that I'm expecting a price to push back into 1.36 before I do look to sell it back down. But after some further analysis, obviously if 1.36 can hold, I probably will look for sells. But I'm probably expecting 1.36 to break and price to come into these highs and maybe even push past these highs as well. So yeah, I do think pound can push further. You can look at the structure of the market, how we've gone from bearish, low, high, low, to making higher highs and higher lows. So the market structure has shifted, and now we're seeing the bulls starting to take control. And overall 1.35, really nice psychological level of support, has held. Prices come into that area, failed to break through, and now we're seeing that upside. So off the back of that, I would expect pound USD back to highs just above 1.36, so 1.361. I'm expecting that push into 1.361 and potentially even beyond. Like I said, my weekly analysis, if this high breaks, I do think there's a good chance we could be coming back up to 1.372, which is the highs up there. So we could actually be seeing continuation to the upside for pound back into this area. Whether we break through that, again, not too sure. We'll have to see what price actually we get there, but that is currently the move I'm looking for pound USD. So more upside for pound. I was looking for sells of the week, but I think I might be shifting that bias. I'll see how price gets on coming into this area, because we could come here, start to reject and roll over, which could provide some nice sells. But if we don't and we start to see a high low form, could actually get into some buys and take that further to the upside. So going to be a bit more reactive with pound, but I'm favouring more upside, especially after looking at the DXY and what that one wants to do. So if pound can break through this level as well, that would be a nice potential setup for break and retest, of course, and targets all the way up there. So I think I'm going to start focusing more on pound USD towards the later stage of the week, but right now I'm expecting a bullish move into those highs. Currently I'm actually in a USD trade, which is kind of just moving sideways. I got into this trade yesterday after that bearish candle there. Stop loss just above that high, and I'm looking for a swing all the way down to 0.91 just to complete the range of the market. You can see on the daily time frame we've got this resistance here, which price has respected numerous times with the wicks there. We came back in one more time quite violently. Price rejected that violently as well. Then we had this false break not too long ago, 2 weeks ago, or last week, one of the two. But yeah, price has come into that area and now is holding as resistance. So I'm looking for price to roll over back down into these lows here. If we were to break through this, I'll switch my bias up for highs, but we're holding. You can see there's wicks on the daily. It's giving us some nice evidence that potentially USD CHF could roll over. Hey Karen, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hey, welcome to the stream. Again, guys, if you're looking at any pairs, feel free to let me know. We'll take a look at it together. But welcome to the stream, guys. So yeah, USD CHF, this is the first area I'm looking to take profit at, because it kind of is like the middle of the range anyway, like 50%. Potentially price could come here if it wants to reverse. It could do. So I'm looking for a push into there, but I'm looking for the full kind of range completion into 0.91. So I'm expecting that to happen, that move there for USD. I'm trading that on the 4H. DXY, I'm still expecting a weakness for this one, so that could provide some help for USD, of course. But yeah, that's the currently trade I'm in. There's a few pairs I'm looking at. Gold has come into a really nice area. Hey Mohammed, yeah, we'll take a look at gold. So yeah, gold's coming to a really nice area. Again, I said in my weekly analysis that I had two areas of interest here for gold. One was this level all the way up here, which price has just come into, and the second, which price broke at the start of the week around that 1811, 1812 mark. So I'm looking for sells coming into this area, Again, a couple of weeks ago we had that massive move to the downside, and prices retraced quite a lot of that. So yeah, I do have to be honest with gold. It's not the cleanest setup in the world. Sales from here do look quite good, but coming into the week I was expecting gold to kind of take a dive from this area all the way back down to here, but now I'm just going to look for a push back down into 1812, because from here we could actually go bullish and break through and actually see price back to these highs. So I'm looking at the structure for gold, and the fact that we gained that bullish momentum so quickly is telling me that gold might actually want to go and revisit those highs up there soon. So gold shorts do look good, either intraday or for the rest of the week. Back down to 1812, we'll see what momentum gives us, but shorts for gold look good coming into this area. Dropping onto the hourly time frame, it's a little bit choppy there, I do have to admit. Kind of is moving a little bit sideways, but it's giving us a sign that we're struggling to break through this 1830 area. So gold, I'm favouring a move back down into 1814, 1812. I'd probably look to exit the trade completely there, and then look to see how we react with that. Whether we find support or we break through, I'll get in the retest to take that further down. But yeah, gold shorts are looking good. I'd say for this, for entries, either the breakout and the retest, or price was to maybe give us a bit of a false break, because gold loves a bit of that. So if we were to spike a little bit high above, that could give us a nice entry signal on the wick and get involved with some shorts there. But essentially, I'm just expecting 1830 to hold. So you probably want your stop loss around that 1831 area, just to give yourself a bit of wiggle room. But yeah, gold shorts are looking good-ish. I mean, the price action not so much, but the location and how we've got there does look good. So I'd wait for a bit more development in that area before getting short. But essentially, as long as that area can hold, I would expect 1814, 1812, and then I'll reanalyze the chart from there. But yeah, I'm favouring gold shorts back down into that area. What do you think about Euro JPY? We'll get onto that. US 500, sure thing, Karen will get into that as well. Okay, so Euro JPY is still looking bullish. Again, we were speaking on this one yesterday, and I said shorts can be looking good for Euro JPY, because obviously you've had this massive move to the upside, where price can definitely come back and retrace into. But you do have to be a little bit wary, because we have taken out some structure here, and price is looking quite bullish on the daily. So we potentially could even head up to some of this resistance up here around 132,500 before we do fall to the downside. But I'm mainly looking for shorts for Euro JPY. I'm looking at the structure of this pair. You can see we made that low, the high, the low, another high there, potentially the low. So I'm favouring more upside for Euro JPY back into 132,500, or at least back into these highs here. But I would favour a push into that resistance, and then from 132,500 I would be looking for sales to take that further. But the structure is not quite there yet. I'm favouring shorts, so I'm not looking to really long the pair after such a move like that. I think the bigger move are the sells. But the structure is telling me that we want to push higher at least one more time. So yeah, I'll be focusing on 132,500. Like I said in the daily, really nice resistance, which price consolidated at before that massive dump to the downside. So definitely will be some sellers, up there looking to get short, and definitely will be some profit taken as well. So naturally we can see a bit of a move, and then maybe we can look to go and potentially retrace some of this gap here. So Euro JPY, I'm favouring one more push to the upside. You can see those wicks there as well. One more push to the upside, 132,500 I'm looking at, and then some sells. If you're looking to sell the market now, I would hold off. Yes, the market is showing some evidence of resistance here, but for me, I think price is still going to push on higher. So yeah, I think 132,500, then some sells there. You're potentially going to buy into that area. I personally wouldn't, but maybe an intraday on the lower time frames, 30 minute, 50 minute, could present some nice buys. Then I think from that high we could look to sell it back down. I actually took longs on that huge spike, and I managed to take 160 pips. Which spike are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about this spike here on the 4H? Or, yeah, which spike are you talking about? Let me know. 160 pips, but well done for that. That's a lot of pips in one move. But yeah, so I'm personally looking to go bearish, but it's not ready yet. I think one more move to the upside before any sells. US 500, we'll get onto that now. Okay, so in the sell from 45, any chance of pullback, or should I quit? Okay, we'll take a look. In the sell from 45, whereabouts is 45? 45 is here. Yeah, it's not looking good. The structure of the market is quite bullish. Obviously, you know, looking at that, yeah, we're bearish, but just looking at this part of the market is looking quite bullish. The fact that we pushed, we pulled back there, we've come back just about to retest this wick here. Now our support. Yeah, I'll probably call it quits on this one. Yes, we could come back down, but in terms of just how I'm looking at the price, I would probably expect price to move up there. Anything could happen, we could pull back, but if it was me trading it, I would personally call it quits there. Shorts could still look good, maybe back at these highs, but the way that the market's moved, it's really found support in this area here with all these wicks, and it's just pushed on from that and respected that area. So yeah, I would probably look to exit that trade. There might be a chance of a pullback, but I wouldn't bank on it personally. We're coming into some resistance around here. You can see on the left here we had a very, very clean impulsive move, and this is where the corrective behavior began. So from 45.49, if we can hold this, there might be a bit of a pullback to the downside. I wouldn't look for any substantial pullback. I'd look for maybe just coming back into this wick here max, or even this prior low here. But if we were to pull back, this is the area I would expect price to pull back from. If we smash through this, then we're most likely going to head to highs. So you can either wait to bank on that, to see if we'll hold that. But yeah, if it was me, I would have probably closed the trade by now. But if you are looking for that pullback, this is probably where it would happen if it would happen. If it breaks through that, yeah, we'll come back to highs. But some shorts could look better further up. Uh, 128, 135, 70. We'll take a look at that. Hey, good morning, Ibrahim. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Euro JPY 128. Oh, okay, all the way down here. 128, 223, 128, 223. Okay, so all the way down here. Wow, nice entry. All the way down here, really nice. And 130, 570. Nice, all the way around here. That's a big move. Caught it right at the bottom. That's a great trade. Yeah, well done with that. That's a really nice trade. Big push. No problem, Karen. Happy to help. Happy to help. So yeah, there's a few pairs that I said off the stream yesterday that I'm looking at to get involved in. One pair said I was looking to get in longs in USD CAD. But yeah, it's not looking that good anymore. I did say I was going to focus on the DXY to see what type of structure we get, what type of price action we get before I do look to get long in USD CAD, because I was hinting yesterday that DXY could come down. So USD CAD might not look too good for buys anymore. And I do believe that's what's happening. DXY, I'm looking at price coming back down to these lows. Had a really nice structural level going through there, which we failed to break through. We've had about 7, 8, 9 attempts to break through that. Yes, we closed it above and stuff, but overall we failed to do that. And I think the bearish momentum from this push is still intact, and I think we could roll over into 94.690. So for me, I'm still expecting a bit more weakness in the dollar. I'm looking at the structure here, it's not looking too good, so I'm expecting a bit more downside. So taking that information into USD CAD, it's not looking too good for buys just yet. You can see we've had a very, very aggressive bullish run to the upside on Friday, came all the way back down, pretty much deleted that move to the downside on Monday, coming into Tuesday, and now we've come back to respect this previous high here. So it does look like we're just getting a head and shoulder pattern really for USD CAD, with that shoulder there, the head and the right shoulder, and you can see we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to break above this. So we're pretty much just going to roll over here. So I'm looking at price coming back into this support for USD CAD. This could be a nice place to go long, because my long-term bias for USD CAD is still bullish. So I'm still overall looking for the buys, but I'm being careful because, like I said, the DXY probably still does have some downside left. So I don't want to kind of jump the gun. So I'm going to see what happens at this level, 1.26600, see what type of price action we get there. But I'm looking at the daily. I'm looking at the price action on the daily. We've pushed up, we've come down, tried to go bullish, failed, and putting some wicks here. So I'm looking at the daily actually coming down a little bit more first. And originally I did say USD CAD, I'm looking at going long from this support. We just missed that last week, and I think we could actually roll into this support here, which could provide the longs that I'm after, and see some upside. So I'm looking at 1.26200, see if we can hold that support, and then I'll look to go long from there, and see if I can push I said see if I can push price higher. Obviously I'm not going to push price higher, but see if I can get involved and price can go higher. So yeah, USD CAD intraday is looking bearish. I'm expecting a move back down into those lows and then coming to the daily region, and that's where I'll start to get interested in those longs again. But as of right now, yeah, it's not looking too good. So we'll be on the sidelines with that, no problem. But yeah, currently the USD CHF, expecting that dollar weakness to come into this pair, but it looks like CHF might be quite weak as well. We'll take a look at some of the CHF pairs. CAD CHF moving up, CHF JPY, it's moving up, so JPY is quite weak then. Pound CHF moving up, so yeah, it does look like CHF might be quite weak, so that's why my current trade is moving a bit sideways. US dollar looks weak, and so does CHF, so they're kind of battling out right now, seeing which one could win. Obviously, hopefully US dollar is weaker, but we'll see. Pound SD does look like it's about to drop. Again, I've been looking at this one, haven't been a fan of the price action. Look at all those wicks there. It is very, very messy here for Pound SD, but I do think we can drop for this one. I'm looking at the structure here, and you can see you've got this support here, which is now actually holding as resistance. Again, not the cleanest price action in the world, but it does make sense. We had this support there, we got underneath it, nice false break, and now we're holding with all those wicks. So if we can clear the low of this consolidation, which price potentially could do, this candle still has about 3 hours and 23 minutes left, so there's a long way to go before it closes. But if we can break out, like I said, my weekly analysis, I'll be looking for the retest of this to go short. Naturally first take profit around there. We can look at some of these levels, but we do have to take into account, what Pound SD has done. Coming into this wick, it's done a massive bullish move. So we could actually see a correction coming all the way back down to this area here, which is still, measure that in pips, still 260-ish pips away from where current price is. So for me, there's a lot of downside for Pound NZD coming to that area. Again, I understand the market is still very, very bullish. Potentially could come into here and snap bullish again, but I'm just looking to take advantage of that retracement. So Break and retest, I will be focusing on now for Pound NZD. Obviously, we need to see the break first, but that's what I'll be looking at. And there is a lot of downside for this one. So I'll see how that one gets on. Of course, we haven't got the break yet, so we could still snap back in and respect the low. But it is a pair that I will be adding to my watch list to be focusing on for some moves. I'll be looking for that move there. Pound AUD, I was looking to see if Pound AUD can hold this support here. If I actually go in the daily time frame, it makes a little bit more sense. Hold this resistance across here as support. Not looking too good. If we do snap that area, I'm looking at us coming into this support here, 1.88. It's not looking too good. I was expecting to see if the market can hold. We failed. We were still holding this support just about, but I was looking for that higher low formation and we kind of pushed past that. So yeah, break through that. Some shorts could look good on the break and retest. I wouldn't do anything with it now, but with the scope we have, you know, we could be seeing 140, 150 pip drop back down to 1.88 for Pound AUD. So it is something to look at. I'll be focused on Pound NZD personally. That one looks a little bit cleaner than Pound AUD. But again, they're pretty much the same pair, so they'll do the same move, really, maybe at different lengths and at different paces. But they're pretty consistent with each other. So that can be something to look at, but I'll be focusing more on Pound NZD. CAD JPY, this one I'm thinking we're going to move to the upside now. Again, CAD JPY has tried to roll over numerous times, especially last week. I was getting to some shorts last week. Again, kind of just around break even that trade, which was around here-ish, coming to that support. But essentially, this support is held at 9100. I do think we can drive higher now, potentially back into this area here, where we've got one test, second test, and a third. Multiple tests across there. Obviously that was a bit of a false break of that, but I think 91,700 is where our next area of interest is for CAD JPY. I know we're coming to some resistance now, but I would refrain from selling that. I'd probably wait for price to get above, but that is where I'm expecting price to go. I would only go short for this one if we broke underneath that support there, which I said at my weekly analysis, but you know, we failed. We held that. So expecting price to move forward now, expecting that for a lot of the JPY pairs. CAD JPY, I'm expecting price to continue up. Euro, I think we can push up one more time back into 132,500. Pound JPY, like I said yesterday, I said if we clear this area here, I'm looking for price to come back to these highs up here. So Pound JPY for me back to 157,500. I'm looking at the daily chart and looking at how price is moving. You know, we had very, very corrective behavior in this area. Tried to roll over, failed to do so, and the buyers are still very much in control. So expecting a drive back into highs. If you're looking for the break and retest, that could be a trade to look into right now because price is holding that as support. So that could be a nice trade to take, stop loss below. And then yeah, targets at that area. So potentially Pound JPY could be looking good. But yeah, for me it's looking bullish. And again, Pound USD, we're expecting that to drive higher as well. So Pound USD, Pound JPY kind of in sync. Expecting them to move a lot higher. Morning Sharif, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope all is well. AUD/USD is looking bullish. Again, AUD/USD quite a strong sell-off off the back of last week, but it turned out to be a bit of a kind of like a false move here. We found resistance around 0.71400, and you can see we sold off very aggressively, but we failed to continue that sell-off, and we respected the low of that impulsive push. So sometimes that could be something to look into when we have a strong move in the market and price starts to retrace. Normally you would expect price to go and take that high out and push forward, but the fact that we didn't is showing us that potentially that move there was a bit false, and it kind of is like an orthodox head and shoulders here, you know, if you can make that out. But we've got the left shoulder here, the head, and the right shoulder, and this kind of area here is the neckline, which prices just kind of snap through. So I do think we could see a bit of a reversal here for AUSD. I'm looking at price coming back into this kind of area here, which we held multiple times, bit of a false break, tested again, around 0.72600. So I think that's where AU is headed. If we do get a reversal, we do have one little obstacle in our way, which is the resistance price coming into now. But I think that could just give us potential setups to get involved, either on the break and retest of that to go along into that area, or if we do respect it, come back, give us another higher low, and we'll look to get involved and take that higher. So AUSD for me, 0.72600 is looking good, coming to some resistance now, so I wouldn't look to buy the pair. But the fact that we've sold off so aggressively on Friday and recovered all of that plus more and actually formed some new highs, it's telling me that the bears are definitely backing off, and the buyers are successfully driving price higher. And the fact that also we've come to a very significant low here at 0.7, and that price is respected quite well. So this slowly could be forming a double bottom here. We'll see how price develops, of course, but with respect to that key level, and now price is obviously seeing a lot of momentum. So yeah, AUSD back into 0.72600. We could snap through that, but we'll obviously look at price when we get there. So yeah, the break and retest that I'll definitely be looking at, or if we can respect it and drive lower first, higher low somewhere to get involved. But I've still got another 90 odd pips to the upside according to my analysis. So hopefully that could be a move to look at for the rest of the week. And the USD practically doing the same thing. Again, I did say for this one yesterday, I was favouring the buys, mainly because I'm still looking for price to have that break and retest of this low, which I was looking at last week, which we didn't quite make. You can see those wicks there before we came down. So that's what I was expecting NZD USD to do last week. Come and have a retest of that area. And also we did move into quite a significant low as well here, as you can see, really strong support, big push to the upside. We've tapped back into that area for the first time since that move. So naturally I'm expecting to see some upside for the USD, and I'm looking for this area, but the buys have not been clean at all. We did sell quite aggressively. There's no way I'm looking to buy into that, but you can see we have recovered that move. So I did say yesterday, hopefully we can sell off one more time, give us another higher low, and that could be a nice place to get involved. But here I haven't really found a good setup. Price kind of just like respected a bit of a channel here and just gained momentum. So as the USD for me, I think it's going to go and hit that target there at 0.67. If we do see some downside, that's the only way I'll look to get involved. But yeah, we're about to take these highs out, or have we? No, we're about to take those highs out. And 0.67 is where I'm expecting price to head to. I mean, all in all, it does look like NZD is quite strong, as you can see, which is obviously helping with pound NZD falling. But you can see NZD is quite strong. Again, NZD CAD coming to a very, very key area of this low, and it looks like we could see some upside from that. We came back, respect this low here, formed a bit of a double bottom, and price is looking quite bullish. So I'm looking at this area here for NZD CAD, and also this area here as well, 0.5600. So there's a lot of upside for this one because we've fallen so far down, but there is a lot of upside we can push into. Hey King City, how are you doing? Killing the index. Yeah, I mean, they're looking bullish again, all the indices, because I briefly just looked at the S&P, but they are looking bullish again. US 30 is looking bullish again. Came back to respect that. We formed a higher low. Again, I remember I was talking about the indices last week, and I said, because we've seen a really nice move to the upside, a really nice rally off last week, and I said if you can form that higher low, that's why I expect indices to start really pushing up a lot higher. and it does look like all of them have formed that higher low. I'm looking at US 30, US 100, looks like it's forming the higher low now. GR30, this one has come back to respect previous lows, but essentially I was looking for that area to hold for price to go bullish. Looks like that one's respecting that area as well. So I do think these indices are getting ready to push a lot further. And they have recovered quite a lot. Obviously, they've all come to very, very strong areas. 34 around here for US 30, very, very key level, and it's respecting it. So yeah, I'm looking at US 30 next pit stop around this area here, 36 100. But yeah, are you still holding all your indices? All your trades in your indices? Because if you are, you could be in for another rally here. Well, I know it's rallying right now, but I mean past this previous swing highs. US 100 still got a lot of mileage to it as well. Because again, we were looking at the break and retest of this level here. I remember we were discussing this last week. Nice support there, price broke below, came back 14,400. Nice engulfing candle there in the daily, so momentum's definitely shifting even on the daily time frame. So for this one, I'm looking at price getting to here. Again, that's a fairly long way away. 56,600, still a long way to go. Again, not expecting that to be done this week, but next coming days, I think that's where price is headed. So yeah, I'm expecting more upside. Obviously, that will be an area to look at to see how price reacts with obviously the price swing higher, but it's looking bullish here. It's looking bullish here for the indices. Still holding a few more positions. Nice. So yeah, you did say you're going to look to add more positions on the pullbacks. So yeah, this is a great time to be looking to add positions to the indices, because they're all looking like they're going to recover after taking some aggressive dives off. Aggressive dives not too long ago, but GR30, that one's had slightly harder time. But it's still holding this support. Like I said, this is the critical support. If we break this, we could see a lot more downside, but we're still holding. So naturally, I'm still going to expect price move back to highs. Only when this breaks is when I'll look at indices going a lot lower. Well, this market anyway. And that's at 114,516. Take a look. 114,516. Geez, nice little entry there, right at that area of these lows. That's around about here-ish. Nice entry there, coming right back into that support. Again, that's the benefit of indices. They do move quite nice with momentum. I feel like when they come back to respect the levels, you know, you do have a good chance that they will start to rally from them. US 30, 35, 023. So yeah, that's around about here. Yeah, some really nice entries on those with pullbacks. But yeah, definitely expecting them to push further. Yeah, NZD is pushing. We just saw. I just looked at at some of the NZD pairs, and NZD is pushing quite aggressively right now. Recently, off the back of that candle, NZD USD, NZD JPY, NZD CHF, NZD CAD, all pushing very, very aggressively. Again, I do have some upside targets for a few of those NZD pairs. I'm looking at NZD CAD coming into these two areas here, up in there, these two areas up there. NZD CHF, haven't really looked at this one too much. NZD USD, I'm looking 0.67. It's about to take that high. NZD JPY is looking quite bullish as well. So yeah, NZD is pushing. I think AU might be pushing a little bit as well. maybe not as much, but it's still pushing to the upside. Geez, for all the indices. Wow, nice. I mean, I suppose you could probably just hold all those positions there. Does D do the same as the index just slow? Okay, I have no idea about that correlation. I should learn something new every day. But yeah, NZD is definitely strong. And so is AUD, and most of the time if NZD is strong, you find AUD is strong as well. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot of those pairs to continue. But yeah, it's looking bullish for a lot of them. Have you just thought about the stream yesterday? Your other favourite shoes just stop streaming. Yeah, I might do that, to be fair. On the US Open, yeah, that is tempting, to be fair. I mean, I need to actually look into to get into a, what's it called, a webcam to attach it to my monitor. Because at the moment all I've got is my tripod and my camera, so that's why it's over there. And I can't put it in front of me because there's obviously no space, but I need to get a webcam to kind of clip on or something like that. How come your other favourite streamers stopped streaming? By the way, US 30 moved up. I didn't expect that. Yeah, US 30 is moving very, very bullish. I was expecting price to push up. I was looking for price to come back and retest this support first though, because I was analysing this one yesterday and I was drawing it like this. Price was squeezing around this area here, so I was looking for price to break out of that, move down one time, respect that support, maybe a double bottom, and then looking for that upside move all the way back up to highs, because I'm still favouring a lot more upside for these indices. Again, that's my next target up there. This looks like price a nice pullback into 35, and now I'm looking at 36,200 up there, where maybe we can see some downside from that area, but we are looking very, very bullish here. US 30 is looking good. 36,200 I think is where we are headed next. Obviously we'll come into these highs now, might see some downside from that, but I think we'll break through quite easily. People will pay for the can be. I mean, I could just go and get one. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're fairly, common on Amazon or something like that. I mean, if people want to see my facial expressions that much, then might as well. Instead, you can stop seeing it at the back of me all the time. Hashtag no excuses. No, I'll go get one, to be honest. Change it up a little bit. Gold is in that area from last week. Yes, it is. Gold is in that area. Again, I'm looking at gold and monitoring price action because some shorts could be looking very, very good from here. Gold's at that kind of area where if it holds, I think we can drop. If it doesn't hold, I think gold can go a lot higher, back into 1849 and potentially 1870 up there. So yeah, I do think gold can either go up or down really, because the fact that we've had an aggressive sell-off here, price found support, failed to roll over, correctly moved up, aggressive sell-off as well, prices found support, moving up again. So each time we're having these sell-offs here, price is recovering quite well. So it's giving me the feeling that gold could actually look to break 1830. Maybe not now. I think now we'll probably see some downside for gold. But I think maybe if we start to hold 1812, we could go and attack 1830 again, and that's where maybe the break happens, and we could be looking at these highs and those highs up there. But I think if we can hold 1830 and then break through 1812, that's where gold can start to tank and see a lot more downside. But we are at that critical area which we were speaking about last week. So I'm monitoring price action there personally. It's a little bit choppy. I'm not really liking how it's moving, but essentially if we hold 1830, I'm looking at 1814, 1812. I'll probably look to exit my trade there completely if I do get a trade in. And then I'll just see how price reacts with that. Either we start to hold or we break through, and that's where I'll formulate my buys for the rest of the week. Or next week, depending on how long it takes for us to get there, and potentially long term as well for gold. Because if we get back below 1812, yeah, I'm looking at 1788, 1760, even 1680 as well. If we get above that, that's where I think gold is going to rally. But personally, I'm still seeing downside for the DXY, so that's telling me that if DXY does fall, you know, we'll I forgot the pair, gold. If DXY does fall, gold could potentially rally. So there is upside potential for gold if we do snap through 1830. And you can see things are not looking too good for the DXY either. So yeah, I'm looking at DXY coming into this low, and if we can snap that successfully, I'm looking at 94, 690 down there. So there's still a lot of downside for the dollar, which could drive, you know, gold higher, Euro USD, Pound USD, all those USD pairs higher apart from USD CAD. USD CHF, I'm hoping we can see a move to downside for this one. Again, CHF has been quite weak, so it's a little bit annoying because US dollar is weak, and naturally you would expect USD CHF to be moving down, but because CHF is a little bit weak as well, we're having trouble. But that's the move I'm looking for USD CHF. I've gotten this in the 4H time frame, so giving myself a little bit more room to work with, a bit more of a classic swing trade this one. Looking for a push into 0.91 midpoint there. I'll be looking to take partials. But yeah, I got into this one yesterday, still in that trade, moved sideways pretty much all of yesterday, coming today. Nice strong close there, pretty much at my entry price. So still going to hold into this one. It's still holding that resistance, which is the main, you know, the main thing I'm looking for to hold, because if that breaks, I'll probably change my bias. And I'm looking for a push into there and into there. We'll see how this one goes. Yeah, it could take the whole week. Could be still in the trade next week if it's successful, of course. But that's the move I'm looking for USD CHF. Looking to take advantage of that potential dollar weakness. But yeah, that's the current trade I'm in. There's a few pairs or so I'm looking at. Pound CAD, I'm looking at longs for that one, but it hasn't quite retraced for me yet. A little bit annoying. I wanted the price to come pull back a little bit more before I do go bullish on this one. But I'm expecting price to move back to highs. So I was hoping we could see a bit more downside. Back into here would be great. And yeah, go bullish from around there, but we've kind of just lost a bit of momentum now. So I'm hoping that we can roll over. Again, not really expecting us to, but I'm just hoping that we can, so I can look for buys high or low somewhere, or respect this area, and I'll be looking for a move something like this into highs 1.73. So yeah, that's my idea for Pound CAD. I'm looking at the price action, it's not looking too good. How's Euro CAD moving? EuroCAD is kind of just moving sideways a little bit. Yeah, not really a fan of this one, to be honest. Pound CAD looks a lot better. Love swing trades. Yeah, swing trades are quite relaxing. Very, very satisfying when you get a swing trade right. You can just watch it run, and not really have to do too much to it in terms of management and stuff. Just let the trade run. Yeah, Euro Pound. I was looking for entries on that one as well. Massive wick to the downside. Of course, we had the news coming out then for pound and for euro, back to back of each other. So we spiked very, very aggressively to the downside. I'm sure you're not the only person that got taken out on this move. A lot of people would have had their stop losses just beneath this low here, and that wick would have taken out a lot of people. So yeah, Euro Pound did the move we were looking for. Massive move actually. We were looking for a move into this area. The price actually smashed right through that one, a lot higher. I still think Euro Pound can give us more upside, obviously, of where it's rejecting from. Euro Pound rejecting this support here. So I do think we can see a lot more upside for that. I'm looking at 0.85500 into this high. So I'm still on the watch list. I'm still looking for those longs. I'm not a fan of how it's moving, which is why I'm not focusing on it too much. It is holding that resistance as support, so that is one positive sign, but I'm not a fan of how it's moving. Yeah, rather price give me a bit of a fake out first and then look good, or push up first in a higher low form. I'm not really a fan of this kind of channel it's forming right now. It looks like it could actually break through. So I'm going to look to see how that gets on. But for me, there's still a lot more upside for this one. The target for the week I gave out on my weekly analysis, which was this area, just missed it. So I'm still looking for that move and then maybe those highs as well. Hey Kane Trades, how are you doing? Gold AUC Chef. We'll get onto that. Yeah, that monthly level was intact for ages for Euro Pound, and you can see if I actually go on the monthly right now, all those wicks there forming. We're definitely going to get some upside from this area. Massive moves. So great place to buy, and explains why we had such an aggressive move. Obviously the fundamentals played a part, but technicals were already giving us a sign that price was going to move up anyway, to be honest. Gold ACHF, so yeah, like I was saying for gold, really nice area, looking for sells, but my target is 1814, 1812, basically back into this support here on the daily. This support here is what I'm looking for price to come into, break through that, we can go further of course, but I'm not trying to jump the gun with gold because we potentially could actually snap through 1830. So gold critical level so far a bit sideways, so maybe New York sessions where the momentum might come through, we might snap above or below. That could give us something nice to work with, but right now it's a little bit dead. But I do think 1814, if this level holds, so essentially if I do get involved, my stop loss will be somewhere around here, and targets all the way down there, 1814. So that's the move I'm looking for. If we hold it, might go long back into that level, or if we break through, that's when I think gold can really tank. But we'll play it by ear. But for now, that is the move I'm looking for. And ADCHF, I believe we're looking bullish. Yeah, broke to the upside. We were looking at this one yesterday. I was talking about price holding above this area here. I said if we can hold above, I'm favouring continuations. Get below, looking for price to sell off back down to this area. But you can see really nice wick into that level. We pull back, and price is looking bullish. So we saw that move to the upside, and the fact that we're holding this level now, I'm expecting price for ACHF to kind of move into this area of wicks up here at 0.666 is what I'm expecting us to push into. So yeah, ABCHF more upside. As for areas to get involved, you probably want price to pull back for you if you didn't get an entry here. There's resistance here, which price is kind of holding as support, so that could be a potential area. Not the biggest fan of that because of how it looks there, but if we do hold that, yes, we probably will make our way into that resistance. It would be nice if price was to come back into this area and then go long, but we might not obviously do that. So yeah, ADCHF 0.666 is where I'm expecting price to head to. That's the kind of target. And yeah, we're still looking bullish in the hourly as well. So yeah, more upside for this one. Entry's not the best, but in terms of direction and bias, fairly confident with that move. Ow, just hit my elbow. No problem, happy to help. Happy to help gain trades. USJPY has been a bit of a funny pair. To be honest, I'm not really liking how it's moving. It's still trading at this resistance here, which I said in my week analysis could provide some nice shorts if we're to hold, or if we're to break through. I'm looking at price coming to those highs up there. Not really the fan of how it's moved into. The way it's looking now, I'm actually expecting price probably to actually break through that area and move into those highs. So I'm a bit hesitant on those shorts, even though it's at a nice area. We did see a nice reaction last week. Now we're back there again. But yeah, I'm not really looking to sell. If it does move, I think that can open up the doors to some nice buys. The best entry would be the break and retest, of course, the safer entry. But I got a feeling that price is going to make its way to these highs. Maybe not this week, but the upside move is definitely, not definitely, but more likely the bigger move in the market. For this one, it's a little bit corrective here on the hourly time frame. So yeah, if we could roll over a little bit, maybe come into some of these areas here, that would be a nice place to buy. Other than that, I'll probably leave it alone. Hey Tashi, look at Euro Pound, sure thing. So yeah, Euro Pound, we just looked at that. I said that this one I'm looking to go bullish from. The target for the week is that area which we just missed at the start, but I'm looking for price to push into 0.84894 for Euro Pound. But I have a nice break and retest of this area. Obviously we tapped into that monthly region there, 0.83. You know, that gave us that big push. Obviously the fundamentals helped with that, but from a technical standpoint, you know, most likely we were always going to get a big push to the upside anyway. So Euro Pound looking quite strong. It's coming into that break and retest area here, and looking good, to be fair. If we can snap outside of this channel, could give entries up here, or if we were to get a higher low, that could give us some nice entries there, maybe on like the 30-minute or something like that for some buys. I said it would be nice to see price and dip below. False break could come back up and give us a nice wick, but if we can break through that, that'll be good, because price is right now a little bit corrective in that channel. But essentially, if we can hold this level, you know, I'm just looking for a price into I'm looking for a move into that high there. So yeah, I'm favoring buys for Euro Pound. Not the biggest fan of how it's moving, but you know, if your stop loss is below this low, you should be safe. If price was to come and hit your stop loss, we're most likely breaking through or having a false break of that level and could see more downside, because you can see for Euro Pound here, we've got all this price action on the left, the price rocketed to the upside, where we could look to retrace. We often do see that a lot in the Forex pairs, where when we do have a big move, eventually price does, you know, come back to retrace that move at least halfway. So there is still downside incentive for Euro Pound. But essentially, if we hold this, you know, I'm looking at price to continue up. We've had that reaction from the monthly level, so I think we're gonna push on from now. So break out that channel. You can probably enter the break if you want, stop loss below, or if we were to retrace on maybe the 30 or the 15, get a high low formation, yeah, buys back into that area there. So yeah, bullish on Euro Pound. Obviously, wait with the closed candles. That candle kind of just open. We've still got about 48 minutes left. before that candle closes. So do be a bit patient, but yeah, Euro pound longs is what I'm favouring. We are definitely looking very, very bullish. But yeah, these JPY pairs, I'm still expecting them to head higher. CAD JPY, to be honest, is just consolidating. So if we can snap the highs, then yeah, we could push through. CAD CHF is a little bit all over the place, to be honest. I mean, that pair is very, very hectic. Might move back into lows. I'm looking at the structure. I think we can still actually push higher, to be honest, if we can respect this area. Kind of have that consolidation using that support. Personally, not the best setup in the world, so I wouldn't really focus on that. But would favour CAD CHF longs and CAD JPY longs as well, moving in that kind of channel there. If it can break out, we'll be looking at that area. But overall, expecting upside. Excuse me. But yeah, we're definitely experiencing those NZD strength. It's moving up very, very aggressively. Again, we've broken out this kind of bowl shape pattern here, so you can see how price is moving from those lows, creating those highs. Yeah, we do see this quite a lot, and we normally do expect price to break to the upside. And now we've broken through that resistance. I'm looking for the next area of value, which is obviously this area here, because we had quite a clean breakout to the downside there for NZJPY, and now it looks like price is retracing that move back into that area where we could find resistance, we could break through, but that's where price looks like it's headed. And NZD is definitely strong. NZD/USD pretty much similar to NZD/JPY as well, very, very strong. We've just about taken those highs out on the left there, so price has just created some higher highs. We did sell off quite aggressively last week. You can see those bearish candles there, but we recovered 100% of that move and then some. So a bit of kind of a false sell-off, or the last sell-off before we do push on. But I was always looking for price to push back into this area for NZD/USD, come back and retest that price support there as resistance. And we did come back almost into that area last week. A couple of wicks, came back down. This week looks like it's going to fulfill that target. So yeah, NZD/USD for me, I'm expecting price to push on into that area. If you're looking getting involved, maybe there might be some nice sells there. I'll probably hold off a little bit, because it looks like we could see further USD weakness, which could help NZD/USD push forward. So yeah, some shorts could be good there. Obviously, we'll see how price is reacting at that level. But I'm actually favouring price to break above that, and then the longs could be a lot better. We've got a few areas we can look to target. We've got that support there. Got some nice resistance up here. So there's a few levels we can look to buy into. And you can see if I go on the weekly time frame, we're actually rejecting a very, very key level of support, which is this low here, which price respected for the first time after that big rally we had mid 2020. Price come back to the first time. So I do think we can see some upside from now for NZD/USD. Obviously, we do need to snap above that low, but I think we will manage that. And when we do, we can provide some nice buys. No problem. In trades. My voice is really croaky today. Excuse me. But yeah, only currently in one position today. Like I said, there's a few pairs got my eyes on, but I'm still waiting for a lot more. Bit of a swing trade for this one, so we'll be patient, sit on my hands for this one for it to play out. Of course, if it doesn't play out, I'll be looking to get the break and retest to go up. But that's what I'm looking at right now for USD/CHF. I'm I think USD CAD I'll be focusing on a lot as well. Some intraday sells do look good at the start from here because it looks like price is giving us that head and shoulder there. So I would be expecting price to move into that low, but like I said in my weekly analysis, I am looking for price to get into this support here. Very, very big moves from this area, 1.6200. We missed that last week, so we formed the support just slightly above it. We had that nice rally, price raised that move, looks like it's forming a lower high there. So I think we could see one more move to the downside for USD CAD coming into this daily area, and then if we can hold, I do think we can push bullish. So again, I'm still favoring USD CAD to push higher long term, or for the daily, the weekly, and even the monthly is doing, to be honest. See the weekly there forming these higher lows, so I am favoring a push back into highs. But we might move down one more time first before we do see that bigger push. So I will be focusing on this support here. Not really looking to sell USD CAD, more focused on the buys. But that's what I'm expecting USD CAD to head into, and then I'll be looking at buys around there. Again, any setups that I do find, I'll be posting on my Telegram channel. So feel free to go and take a look at that if you want to. Link to that in the description and also in the chat. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to leave a like on the video. It does help the channel out. If you are enjoying the content, want to see more, subscribe to the channel, join the family, and also hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or any uploads in the future. Yeah, pound USD is definitely breaking out of that low. So we're seeing quite a strong drop here for pound USD. First target is obviously that low there. I think we can reach that low as well. Obviously USD is quite strong, so it's helped this move, but pound USD is looking good. We've obviously come to a very, very strong area of resistance where we were always going to be expecting price to correct itself. And it's looking good. So if we can get that pullback, if price is nice enough to give that pullback, again, it's very impulsive right now. The candle's still got a while to close, about 2 hours and 40 minutes, so we can still pull back potentially. But if we do close similar to how we're looking right now, price potentially could just drop without that retracement. But if it does, I will definitely be looking to get involved at the lows of this consolidation area to come back and retest that to sell off. So yeah, I'm looking at pound USD to see some downside now. Again, I'm expecting a push into this area over the next maybe couple of weeks or so. So even if we don't catch the first drop, I think if price can retrace after that, the second drop's still looking good. Still got about over 200 pips to where I think price probably will head to. So definitely more than enough pips to catch. Hey, welcome to the stream. What about US oil and US 30? We'll get onto that for you. Okay, so yeah, oil. Let's take a look at oil, see what's happening with this one. So obviously you can see on the daily chart we've been rallying to the upside, giving us those higher highs and higher lows in the market here. Recently we've pushed higher into, what was that, 92? Yeah, into 92, seen some new highs at that area. So we're coming into that stage where we could be coming into some retracement now for oil. You can see that trend line there. Again, it's not the be all and end all, that trend line, but it's just a marker to show us that we are coming into an area where maybe profit taking can be happening, and we could see oil maybe see some downside. Again, we do have this high here which we broke through naturally. That's where we're expecting price to come into. Prior resistance will be turned support at around 85.39. So dropping onto the 4H time frame, we've been very, very corrective, and then suddenly big push, and we've kind of almost erased most of that move. So I'm looking at 85.39 there. We do have some support here to watch out for, but I do think that's where we're going. So yeah, if you're looking to get involved with oil, I'd say predominantly, depends what time frame you're looking at. If you're looking at hourly, 4 hour, I'll mainly be looking at those sells back down into 85.39. But this will be my first area of take profit, or first area of interest, because we could come here and go bullish. But 85.39 is what I'm expecting price to head to, which is that resistance there, now turn support. So yeah, I'm heading for some downside for US oil. If you're looking to get involved in the move, I would wait for some retracement, because obviously price is still moving bearish right now. Waiting for another pullback into maybe that resistance or slightly higher. I can get some nice sells into the downside, into that level. And then if you can break through that, 85.39 is what I'm headed to, what I believe oil is headed to. And then from there, we probably can go bullish again and see some nice buying opportunities. But oil, short term, next kind of few hours, maybe a couple of days, expecting more downside. And then maybe either from this support or 85.39, we can go bullish again. US 30, that one I'm expecting more upside. We've recently just formed a nice higher low over here on the break and retest of that area. We're coming into these highs, so naturally we're going to experience some resistance around here, but I am looking for US 30 to push into 36 200 up here. You can see this 34 level price has been respecting for ages, so we're really holding that level and it's failing to break through. Had a really nice aggressive reaction recently. I believe price is now just forming that higher low, and we're going to see the next leg into that resistance up here at 86 200. So again, I'll be favoring the buys here. I know at resistance, but I'm not really looking for those sells. So if you're looking to get involved, break and retest of the high could be a nice entry to get involved, or if price is kind enough to retrace again, can look to form a higher low and then buy back up. Got some nice resistance and support around here. You can see those wicks, nice test over there around 35 300 could be a nice place to go long. But my bias is bullish for US 30, looking at that 36 200 area, and either break and retest of the high, or if we do react with it, looking for that next high low to push on. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at for US 30 and oil. Gold analysts, no problem. Gold is quite popular today. So yeah, gold, I'm looking at a move to the downside. We're coming to a very critical area, 1830. So I'm looking at gold taking a breather of this bullish run and coming back into 1812. And if we go on the daily quickly, you can see it's that support there of that body of the candle, and we'll come into this key area of resistance. So I'm looking to see a downside move. Gold is a little bit choppy the way it's moving. It's a little bit, sideways, struggling to break up, so we're lacking a little bit of momentum. That's what I said, potentially in the US session coming into that, we might see that extra momentum come back into the market and maybe that breakout. But the next move I'm expecting for gold is back down to that 1814, 1812 region. If I do get involved, I'll probably put my stop loss just above that high on the 1831 mark. But yeah, my targets will be that zone down there. So expecting gold to drop. If it does break through 1830, that's where I potentially will change my analysis and look for more upside. But if we can hold 1830, we'll be expecting 1814 or 1812 to be hit. Maybe even today if we do see that momentum come through. No problem, you have a great day as well. Gold is always popular until it kills people's accounts. I mean, I think gold has killed a lot of people's accounts, but somehow it's still popular with them as well. I think the fact that it does destroy people's accounts makes it more popular because they want to, get back at it, and win make their money back. Because gold's definitely destroyed a lot of people's accounts, but I know people will still trade it anyway. I mean, gold is a nice pair, but I wouldn't say it's for the light-hearted. don't think even destroying accounts matters too much. Just redeposit money and you go again. But yeah, gonna see how this US30 gets on. Still expecting that roll over the DXY, so hopefully that can help out the USDC Chef trade. But like I said, for the DXY, we are moving sideways, so I am expecting weakness, but we do need to break out successfully to the downside before that can be really cemented, because we could still come back, respect the low of the range, yeah, and then break to the upside if price wants to. I said I was going to check the news. I haven't actually checked the news for today, so let me quickly do that. Just to see if we've got any news announcements coming out. Okay, so we're pretty clean today. Nothing really of high impact. Everything is medium impact or below. Got a CAD speech later at 5, but says medium impact, so not going to focus on that too much. But yeah, relatively calm today. No major impacts. Tomorrow we do have some news announcements for the dollar at 1:30 GMT, and we do have some Euro news as well at 12. So yeah, tomorrow things do pick up a little bit, and Friday got some pound news, but then relatively calm after that. So yeah, it does pick up a bit tomorrow and Friday, but today is relatively calm, so shouldn't be seeing too any unexpected moves really today, based off fundamentals anyway. August, you mean AUSD? Yeah, sure, I'll get onto that. Yeah, there's definitely some lessons to be learned, and that, I mean, yeah, especially at the beginning, you do make a lot of mistakes like that, over leveraging, those stop loss, exposing your account to too much risk, over trading. Yeah, definitely a lot of those mistakes will be coming out when you're starting, but it's good to get them out early. Obviously not with a 2k account, it'd be better if it's a 2k demo account, but it's always good to get the mistakes out earlier and learn quickly from them, because then it can definitely help you a lot in the future. But yeah, gold is very, very enticing to get into because it's quick, volatile, a lot of pips about it, so it's very, very attractive from that aspect, but also can be dangerous sometimes if you're going to expose yourself too much. But yeah, AUSD, like I said, for this one, I'm looking for that bullish move. I just clear that actually, because it's a little bit messy. My keyboard keeps playing out for some reason, so I have to manually get rid of this. But yeah, AUSD, I'm expecting upside for this one. I'm looking at price to come back into 0.7 to 800. Again, you can see on the daily, we've come back to that price swing low, which price formed in December. Respected it very, very well. Nice strong reaction towards that. Last week we had an aggressive sell-off, but prices kind of just erased that move very steadily and slowly to the upside. So it's a bit like a fake move. It's not really broken a level or a faked level, but we've sold off, which has definitely attracted some sellers into that impulsive bearish candles like that. And now we've just reversed that whole move. So it looks like price is forming this kind of tilted inverse head and shoulders, with the left shoulder being there, the head, we've come back up, we've formed a higher low now. So I do think we're about to reverse to the upside, and I'm looking at 0.7 to 800 coming back into that resistance up there. Nice resistance there, a bit of a false break, came back to retest it again. So price If we can break through this area here, which is the last obstacle, which could send us back down, I do think that's the next level we're going to head to for AUD/USD. So I'm expecting more upside for this one. Again, I would look to buy it right now, obviously because we're at resistance. So a potential setup is if that momentum continues, break above, retest it, can look to get involved, maybe the hourly time frame, take advantage of that risk to reward. But essentially we've got about a 90 pip gap to work with if we can successfully break above. So more than enough pips to catch if we can get that break and retest, or if we do respect it and see some downside first, that's cool as well, because then we'll still be looking for those longs for the next high low to form for a push up. We do have this area here, which is that support. Had a bit of a false break through that. If we come back and retest that, that could be a nice place to go long. And again, you're still looking about 130, 150 actually pips to the upside. So all in all, I'm bullish on AU. The fact that we've created that high and that kind of fake sell-off there. So I'm looking for price to push into that resistance. We could potentially break through as well, but we'll take a look when we get there. But yeah, I'm favouring upside for AU at resistance now, so we could maybe sell off first. But if we do manage to break above, break and retest option, we're looking at 0.72800. But yeah, we are looking bullish. How's pound doing? Pound's pulling back a little bit there. I'm still expecting pound to push on, so fairly good close on that 11 a.m. candle. Still expecting pound to push on. We have come into this kind of resistance down the left, which is probably why price is reacting like that for pound. But I think we'll probably push on anyway, to be honest. Nice resistance there, was time support, break and retest. So yeah, I'm favouring pound to push into 1.36 on 100, which is those highs. Not interested in the sales at the moment unless the structure shifts and we start to see a lot of rejection. Then I'll start to look at that and maybe if the XY can break to the upside. But other than that, I'm favouring the longs for pound. Oh, okay, I had no idea. Never actually used the FTMO, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, it's definitely good to look into, because then you can actually check your metrics and see how everything's working out for you. It allows you to pinpoint areas where you need to improve, which you might not have spotted before. No problem, Jeff. Happy to help. Happy to help. How's EU doing this? So yeah, EU closed quite strong, to be fair. Breaking through that resistance. So yeah, I do think EU can push up back into highs again. It's just not quite in that area I wanted to get long from, which is this area down here. So it's not even looking that good right now. So I think I'll hold off for Euro USD for now. It might move without me, but if it is, so be it. But if we can roll over one more time, which I don't think we will do, but if we do that, I'll happy to look for longs. Maybe if we can come back and respect support again, bit of like a triple bottom here, that could be a nice place, but it's looking long for Euro USD in my opinion. Again, I was looking for a bit more retracement because we've had such a impulsive move. If I do get a fib on that move there from the high to the low, you can see the 0.382 is all the way down there. So we haven't really retraced hardly anything of that impulsive move. Obviously we don't have to, but it would be nice if we can retrace a little bit more, just to get a cleaner setup. But yeah, I'm definitely favouring more upside for Euro. If we do roll over one more time, great. I'll still be looking to get involved. But I would say that I'm focusing more on the longs now. Not really interested in the shorts. Maybe if we come back up, respect that again, maybe some shorts can form. But other than that, I'm favouring the longs. May I ask why you don't trade funded account? Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I'm happy with my personal funds right now. So I don't really have a need to look for funded accounts. And I know there are some good funded companies out there, but again, a lot of them are a little bit, you need to do your research about them, and a lot of them, they don't actually fund their accounts. Normally it's just demo accounts, and they're quite banking on a lot of people losing, because obviously when you do a challenge you have to pay like what, $100 $200 for the challenge. So if you get a lot of people that, because a lot of people will fail the challenge or fail at trading, so a lot of them don't actually provide you the money. Normally it's demo accounts that you're trading, and all the people that have failed, that's the money they give you if you successfully get a payout. And obviously it's like a 70-30 split or 80-20 split. Whereas obviously for my funds, I get to manage it the way I want to do that, which doesn't always fit the criteria of a funded account. Sometimes you have to trade in a certain way. Sometimes you have to place trades in certain, like you have to place a trade a day or something, or there's a max loss for the day or the week, which doesn't always fit my style the way I trade, because I do day trade a little bit and swing trade as well, so it's kind of like a mix. And obviously I get to keep 100% of my profits as well. But yeah, it's something that I might look into in the future. Maybe not so much with like a popular funded, maybe a bit more institutional. But yeah, currently just trade my own funds right now. USD ZAR, sure thing. USD ZAR. Okay, this one is a little bit. Okay, so just looking at the higher time frames quickly. So yeah, it's looking like we could see some downside. Price has just about filled the gap to the upside into that area. So we had obviously this consolidation and that resistance. Price broke above that. Turns out it looks like a bit of a false break above that resistance. So I'll be expecting price to move down now for USD ZAR. Again, we have been analyzing this one, not that much lately, but maybe like a month ago or 3 weeks ago, we were looking at USD ZAR quite a lot, and it's looking quite bearish still holding that support there, turn resistance. So I do think price can actually roll over for USD ZAR. We've had obviously that support, first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, still respecting as resistance. So naturally USD ZAR is looking good to come back into 14.9. So yeah, we could see 14.9 back into that level for USD ZAR. A bit more of a swing trade. Again, there is areas over there we can look to take a profit. You don't have to look for the overall push, but you know, that's what I'll be favoring price to get to. It looks like we just formed a nice lower high over there. We tried to go bullish. It's looking good for the bears here. So yeah, maybe a pullback one more time at the lower high could be nice to get involved. Break and retest of that low, probably not enough room to get involved for a good trade. But yeah, I'm definitely favoring shorts for USD ZAR. Probably one more pullback would be nice. Yeah, maybe you can do a break and retest of that low. Maybe drop to like the 15-minute or the 30-minute. But yeah, if we do pull back, great. Maybe even back into this resistance, that would be nice as well. Respect that and can get some nice shorts to take that lower. But yeah, bearish buyers for USD ZAR, and yeah, those are the TP areas. Probably we can look to target one of them, but from a daily perspective, I'm looking at 14.9. So yeah, hope that was helpful. Yeah, potentially, but you know, at the moment it's not really what I'm looking for. Again, I could do in the future. Maybe I'll look more into it. I probably won't do it with FTMO. I'll probably look somewhere else, but yeah, I wouldn't do it with FTMO. Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of people doing that, to be honest, using the profits from the funded account to create their own accounts, which does make a lot of sense, to be honest. Because the FTMO, yeah, exactly, the FTMO rules, yeah, they don't always fit their trading styles, to be honest. I mean, I don't know of all the funded like companies, so there might be a company that does give a nice trading style for me, but FTMO, I have looked at their requirements, not really for me, but it does make sense to kind of use it to get capital to actually trade on your own. And I'll probably actually highly recommend doing that, because then you get your own capital where you keep 100% of the profits and you can manage that how you like. But obviously if you don't have any capital, then getting funded does make sense. The Holy One of Israel, are you funded by FTMO or looking to get funded by FTMO? CHF still moving sideways. USD and CHF both a little bit weak. We'll see who can win that battle. DXY still look at that breakout. How's Euro Pound doing? Yeah, Euro Pound still pulling back from the channel there. So, like I said, not the biggest fan of how Euro Pound's moving, but if we can break that channel, that would open up a lot of doors, and we'd look for continuations basically into those highs. So Euro Pound may be one to watch, but I wouldn't look to get involved just yet. Obviously, that's my analysis. If you're trading that, fair enough. But for me, I'll be looking to see if we can get that break and then push through. No, don't like them. I trade personal and also my Forex friends. Okay, yeah, I've heard of my Forex friends. How are they? My Forex friends have recently just popped on the scene. I mean, not recently isn't founded, but in terms of popularity, I've heard a lot of people talk about my Forex friends. So yeah, how are they? No problem, happy to help. Again, I do have about 15 minutes left of the stream, so if anyone is wanting me to look at any pairs quickly or discuss anything on the charts, feel free to let me know. Drop it in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Yeah, it's not too much happening for the charts there. I think gold is probably the one that looks the best, to be fair. Obviously, I'm already in a trade right now, but in terms of getting into some potential setups, for me, gold's looking the best. Price action, a little bit iffy there, moving sideways, but I do think the probability is looking good for gold to come back down. So, like I said, maybe US session is going to be the time where price gets that momentum to break out, but out of all the pairs, I think gold is top of my list for me. Probably, most likely to give a setup today. Some other pairs do look good, Pound and D, but it needs some time for that to retrace. But yeah, gold looks the best. Hedge funds dirt cheap weekly pay and goes up to 2 million. Okay, wow, 2 million, that is a lot. Oh, does it pay you weekly? That's interesting. Most of them pay you monthly payouts. Are you in any trades currently? Missed what you said earlier. Yeah, I'm currently in USD right now on the 4H time frame. Entered this one yesterday, so this one is a little bit sideways. US dollar, like I said, CHF a little bit weak, so struggling to find out which way it wants to move in. But I am currently in this USD trade on the 4H time frame, essentially looking for price to stay back underneath this level and complete the range to the downside. More suspecting that US dollar weakness, so hopefully that should help roll the trade over. But yeah, we've had a nice false breakout recently for USDCHF into this area. I'm looking to catch the retracement of that back down again for USDCHF. First area I'm looking to take profit is this low here, kind of like the mid-level of the range, and then I'm looking at the lows down here. So nice swing trade there. Probably will take its time unless we get a big shift in the strength between USD and CHF. But yeah, as long as we can hold it underneath this level, I'm looking for price to roll over. If it's a break back above, I'll probably flip my bias and look for some longs back into the highs up here. What was that, 0.39600? So yeah, the fact that we're holding the resistance, we had a few attempts to break through. I'm looking for price to roll over. But if we do snap above, and obviously the trade fails, I'll look to see if I can get involved and take advantage of the longs back up into that area. Could do analysis on Euro USD, sure thing, we'll get onto Euro. Oh, pay weekly, isn't it? Yeah, that surprised me. I mean, weekly, it's a good idea because obviously people want their money quickly, but yeah, what happens when if you're down for the week? Obviously, they just don't pay you. But yeah, fair enough. Weekly payouts, that's quite a lot. So fair play to them. But yeah, Euro USD. Okay, so Euro USD for this one, I was bearish coming into the week because we're obviously trading that resistance. We've had quite a bullish move to the upside, so I'm naturally looking for price to recover some of this bullish momentum that we saw off the back of last week. But looking at the DXY and how things are shaping up, I do think we can actually see another move to the upside for Euro, back into the highs at 1.14800, which is this level here, and potentially even into this level up there, which is that daily support, which we broke through. Now we've got the retest, so I do think we can actually see price continue higher. I was looking for price to come back and retest this resistance here as support before looking to go long on Euro. It doesn't look like price is actually going to come back down to that level. It still could, but it does look like price has formed some support slightly higher up. So for me, I'm actually bullish on Euro. I'm expecting DXY to fall a little bit first, to fall over. So if we can see some dollar weakness, most likely Euro is going to push up. So yeah, I'm looking at Euro pushing to this level first. If we can get a break, then that high up there, 115,400. I'm looking to see if we can form another high low. So we had a nice break of that trend line. Not really a fan of taking trades on breaks. Rather price retrace, retest things before I do get involved. So I said if we can maybe come back and form support again, I'll look to get involved and trade it higher. Or if we do roll over into this support, which is the daily support, which would be great. And if we can hold that, definitely we'll look to get into some longs there if we can get a nice bullish signal. But I'm bullish on Euro. I'm looking for price to push back into highs. But yeah, I want to see that next support form before I do get involved. But yeah, I would be expecting price to push back to those highs up there. We'll take a look at Pound Jpy as well. You can request a profit every day as long as you're in profit. Okay, wow. Even £1, you can request it. Fair enough. No daily drawdown limits. Okay, that's good. That's good. Because those like loss limits for FTMO, it definitely is not what I'm a fan of. Obviously, I'm not looking to get 5% loss for the day, but there will be times where I do take more losses, and when the profits will come back to cover that, especially when I'm looking to day trade and swing trade at the same time. Can hold 2 trades. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't really look to trade more than have 2 trades running at the same time most of the time. Sometimes if I've got a swing trade on, I can look to take some smaller trades, and maybe I'll have 3, but to be honest, I don't really hold more than 2 most of the time. Pound JPY, Pound JPY looking bullish for this one. It looks like price has just formed a higher low. It has formed a higher low back here at the start of the week, and we've just taken out the highs of this resistance here. So I'm actually favouring Pound JPY back to 157.587, which are those highs there. I said at the start of the week that we've got this support here. We also have this trend line. I said if we can break through this trend line, that's where I'll start to look to get involved for some shorts to take price lower, and that was the only way I was going to get a short. But we can see we came back, respect that support, respect that trend line, so I'm expecting price to move back into these highs up there and still use that high time frame momentum we've seen on the weekly, seen on the daily, and now we're seeing on the 4H. So yeah, targets for Pound JPY is those highs 157.500. Again, it's a little bit choppy, but we've had a break and retest of this level here. So if you were to come back down, you can look, get some longs again. Targets to the upside, you're still looking at about 100 pips from that support to that high. So yeah, for me, I'm expecting more upside for Pound JPY. It's looking good for this one. If we do get back below, that's where I would say probably hold off a little bit. I wouldn't sell it, but definitely I wouldn't buy it either. So as long as we can stay above 156.500, next target 157.500, and then we'll reanalyze the pair and see what we can get from there. But it's looking bullish for Pound JPY. Oh, you can hold trades. My bad, misread that. Just not weekends. Okay. I have 3 accounts per person. Also, wow. What's the profit split? What's the profit split for my Forex friends? Because that's not bad, to be fair. So I know there's some funds that don't allow you to hold trades overnight, so that's good. And also, not many will let you hold over the weekend either, or trade during the news. But I don't really hold too much of my trades over the weekend. If I'm swing trading, then I will, to be honest. But I haven't done too much of late. But yeah, what's the profit split? Okay, yeah, we are coming up to the end of the stream, so any last minute pairs, any last minute breakdowns, let me know, put it in the chat. $50-50. I suppose they're making up for all the positive stuff with a fairly low payout split. I mean, 50-50 is not great. Obviously, on the big accounts, probably more consistent traders will be trading the big accounts, of course. So that's probably why the 85% on the big accounts. 50-50 is not great, but obviously you'd be looking to regress to the big accounts for the 85%. Hey, how are you doing? Look at AUD CAD and CAD JPY short thing. Yeah, I'm in short on USD CHF, Kyla. So AUD CAD looking bullish. So yeah, we're looking fairly strong on this, and looks like price is coming up to this resistance here. So yeah, yesterday I was favoring longs for AUD CAD. Around this area, simply because every time we tried to sell off, we kept rejecting that sell off. So I was favoring price to push to the upside. We have broken through that resistance now, so AUD CAD still looking fairly bullish. I said this is the first area I'll be expecting price to come to before maybe we have some friction. Maybe price could come back down here, but I'm looking at AUD CAD on a bigger time frame. And yes, we are still bearish. You can still see those clear lows and highs, very, very clear. And we are approaching a strong level of price support, now time resistance. So AUD CAD is coming to an area where if we do break through, we can see a lot more upside for AUD CAD. If we don't and hold, we could actually go bearish and come all the way back down to lows. So coming to a critical region here on the daily. Again, best way to judge this is obviously see how the daily candle closes at the end of the day, but on the 4H we are still looking very, very bullish. So I'll monitor price action here, because either which way a big move is probably going to form within the next few days, few weeks, whether we're coming right back down to lows or whether we're going to see a reversal and that bigger push to the upside. So because the market is bearish on the higher time frames and how we're moving, you can be starting to look for some sells here. Obviously, looking at the 4H, looking at the hourly, is still far too bullish to be jumping to any sells just yet. But it's at that nice area where we could look to roll over. So you can be looking for sells at that area. If we snap through on the daily and price close well above the area, then we could actually be looking at some buys and looking to continue price. There's some support here. We haven't come back to retest, resistance out there. So there's a few places we can look to target if we do get back above. But yeah, definitely from a daily point of view, we're coming into a key area where it's either time to roll over or it's time to push on. But looking at the other AUD pairs, they are all looking fairly bullish. So AU is definitely strong, difficult to sell right now. But from a technical standpoint, it's at a nice area. So see what happens there. If we hold, some sells will be looking good. If we break, we could be seeing that reversal on the higher time frames. CAD JPY, this one I'm still looking for a push back up into this area. What's that? 91,660. We'll call it 91,700. Prices essentially found support here, failed to break through. It was put in the lows here, went back low, lower low, lower low. Then here we had a higher high. So we're kind of getting that bowl shape again. Price trying to roll over but failing to do so, and I do think we're just going to spill over to the upside. We're having a hard time right now because price is at some resistance here, as you can see, but I do think we'll snap through this, so I definitely would not be looking to sell from here. I do think we'll probably push to the upside. If we do break out the consolidation to the downside, then I think I'll just be looking for the higher low to form, somewhere around there-ish, 9,500. Again, I'll probably analyze price if we do break out, but I'm expecting price to kick on. So it's up to you how you want to trade this one. You could either wait for another move back down to the lows of the range, you can look for buys here, or you can wait for the break of the range and then look for the retest of that. Obviously the break and retest is the safer option, but obviously this one could catch a little bit more pips But my bias is bullish for CAD. I'm looking for 91,600. Was looking for the pair to roll over, but we found support and we're getting that bowl shape. So for me, onwards and upwards for CAD JPY, back into 91,700, maybe even back to highs as well, which is that wick there. But yeah, I would say I'm bullish on this one. So yeah, I hope that analysis helped. But yeah, it has come to the end of the stream, guys. It is just on 12. I will be live again tomorrow as well. So I hope I do see you guys there. But currently in USD CHF, which is moving sideways right now, US dollar CHF fairly of the same strength. So we'll see how that gets on. There's no real news announcements today, so of high impact. So should be a fairly clean day of trading. The main pair I'm focusing on besides USD CHF is gold. I do think a nice sell-off can be happening. Like I said, gold is ranging a little bit, so it's not looking the best. But if we can hold 1830, I will be expecting price to roll over. So I'm looking for shorts for gold. I'll be looking at price action as we come into the US session, because I think that's probably where gold will probably move. Right now it's a little bit too corrective for me to look to get involved, but gold I'm looking at 1814, 1812 if we can hold underneath 1830. USD CAD I'm looking for price to roll over, but I'm looking at longs from down here, so maybe that be something I'll look at later in the week. Not really looking to sell the pair. Pound SD, it does look like we're breaking out that range there, so I'm looking at price filling that gap to the downside around 2.02. So I'm looking for the retest of that, and then I'll be looking at this level down here. So for me, there's a lot more downside to come for Pound NZD. So we'll be looking to see if we can get a nice swing on that pair. Maybe if we can get the break and retest today or tomorrow. But yeah, if I do get any of these setups, I'll let you know in my Telegram. Feel free to go and check that out if you want to. Links in the description, or if you scroll to the top of the chat, it'll be there as well. And finally, Euro USD, I'm looking to see if I can get involved in that one. Not moving the best. Like I said, if you can come back down one more time, that'd be great. Then push on. Or if you come back to that daily area, that would be great as well. And the AU as well, I'm looking to see if we can get along on that. Either we respect that area, pull back down, get some longs, or the break and retest. But targets otherwise is 0.72800. But yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow, same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. GMT. I hope I do see all of you guys back there. Hope you all have a great day. You know, trade safely, don't any blown accounts or anything like that. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and hit the bell if you haven't done already, because you didn't miss out on any uploads or streams. But I hope you all have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.